Express cosine 7 pi over 3 as a trigonometric function of an angle in quadrant 1. In other words, cosine 7 pi over 3 is the same as which one of these in quadrant 1? Alright, so first thing you need to understand is reference angle. As soon as I see this, I know what the reference angle is because it is one of the special angles. These are the three special angles, and pi over 3 is one of them. So as soon as I see that the denominator is 3, I know that the reference angle is going to be pi over 3. Now, A and B have that same reference angle. So it's definitely going to be one of those. So I can forget about C and D. Okay, I see the denominator of 3, that's the same reference angle. Okay, now the cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. I know this because it's on the chart. Write this chart down, memorize it if you can, but always have it with you when you're taking a quiz. So I see that the cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. And the thing is, the cosine of any angle that has a reference angle of pi over 3 will also be 1/2, except for one thing. So the cosine of 7 pi over 3 is also going to equal 1/2, except for maybe it's positive or maybe it's negative. It depends on the quadrant. So really, we know that 7 pi over 3, okay, let's think about what quadrant that's actually in. Okay, the top half of the circle is pi. If I divide it into 3 parts, each part will be pi over 3. So if I go around the circle, I've got 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, 6 pi over 3, 7 pi over 3. So fine, 7 pi over 3 is in fact in the first quadrant. And of course, pi over 3 itself is in the same position. Alright, it's just so 1 pi over 3 is in the same spot as 7 pi over 3. So that's why the cosine of these two will be the same. They will both be positive 1/2. They're both in the first quadrant. Oh, by the way, the cosine of 7 pi over 3, the reference angle of this is not pi over 3 either. If this was 7 pi over 3, then the reference angle would be pi over 3. But without the pi, then that's meaningless. So the answer is B. Let's just reveal and check our answer. Awesome.